Well, a very good evening. Welcome back to Novе-Место, day 2 of the Biathlon World Cup here. The men's individual yesterday. We've got the women's short individual coming up this evening, 12.5 kilometres. So 5 times round the 2.5k loop, which obviously is a bit shorter than last night. And it cuts out a couple of nasty turns and nasty climbs. But it's still a pretty tough course. They still do the big climb that you can see at the moment out under the tunnel and then up this beast of a climb, which certainly sorts the field out fairly effectively. Well, let's have a look at the programme for the weekend. Lots of racing to come from Novе-Место. The short individual coming up very soon, and then tomorrow a midday start for the women's mass start. And of course, we have the men's mass start on Sunday. Mixed relays tomorrow afternoon for 2 of them. I think there's a little mix up there. Single mixed relay tomorrow. It's relay day tomorrow. Single mixed and the mixed. My apologies for getting that slightly mixed up. And then the mass starts on Sunday, just to finish it off. Mike, last night we had 15,800 in the stadium and out on the tracks. Tonight it looks as though we've doubled that. And I'm hoping they managed to create a little bit of atmosphere. It was a little bit dead last night.
It was a little, Patrick, as the standings are just popping up on the screen, but I must say I love it alongside these 20,000 spectators and the massive TV audience. I love a little short individual as well, and I think it's a great test of the biathletes' mental skills as well as their physical skills. Yeah, unless I'm missing a page, we've only got 93 starters today, so a little bit less than last night. What do we have? 109 men yesterday. There's the number 1 in the world, and convincingly so. 3 wins, 3 second places, and she's over 130 points clear of everyone else, so cannot be robbed of the yellow bib tonight, and is highly unlikely to be robbed of it before the Olympic Games. Luckily for her, Mike, she doesn't have to wear yellow at the Olympics. No, she doesn't, and I think in a sense that takes pressure off. Minkinen, she's chasing yellow. She's got quite a battle on her hands, but certainly she will. Certainly, I think when it comes to 4 shoots in an individual, I think she'll do very well.
Yeah, you saw the names there of the 4 athletes, significant athletes missing, or very significant, let's put it that way. They're all significant. We're missing the 2 Erberg sisters. I was surprised that Shirka Ida didn't want to come. I know she's not going to, it's unlikely she's going to win the overall World Cup, but second place was there for the taking. And Voigt of Germany is absent. Otherwise, Mike, we've got 11 of the top 15, which I wasn't expecting. The way the Italians were talking in Ruhpolding, we thought they were going straight to altitude, but they're here. Vitozzi, Vera, both racing tonight. And Vera, really, because she won the first individual of the season, picked up 90 points. She'll be wearing red tonight, and if she gets a good result, top 3, top 5 today, she may well walk away with the individual crystal globe at the end of the season again.
That would be great, wouldn't it? What a way to end her career, and that seems to be what she's going to do. I did worry a little about Dorothea Vera's at 0, where you're centering your rifle for the wind, for the light, etc. Wasn't that tight a group? Yeah, that was quite a quick shoot. She got better as it went on.
I'd be happy with that. I would be happy with that. Yeah, I hope we see some good shooting. I thought the shooting in Ruhpolding was sensational, Mike. I know it facilitates fast, accurate shooting simply because of the approach to the range. It's a little trickier here. The mist doesn't look too bad on the TV screens, but it is misty. Is it bad enough to affect the line of sight? Does it affect the focus and the clarity of the target?
It does. You're not getting the same brightness, clarity. The brain is seeing perfect circles, the circle of the rear sight to the foresight to the circular target, and you can match them all up. When it's nighttime racing, although they've got huge wattage of power on the targets, it's not as crisp, and that's why it makes it more difficult. The fog isn't too bad tonight. That doesn't really add any more stress to the image.
Yeah, who do you think needs a big race tonight? Who hasn't really produced anything to be heading towards Antolz and the Olympics with confidence?
There's certainly big names out there who haven't found their way. I think that I'm not writing off Kuzmina. We saw that her skiing is good, her shooting hasn't been good. I'm not writing her off, but she would love a decent result today to carry herself in.
Yeah, the 41-year-old originally from Tumen. Got quite a few Russians here under disguise. Avakamova racing for Korea. Yeah, she's not picked it up. She's, what, 4-5% slower than the average skier. And we were discussing yesterday in the men's, you need to be at least 3.5% quicker than the average skier if you've got a chance of winning.
Skiing is vital. What impressed me last night in the men's competition, Patrick, it's quite unusual to have 5 from the, what was it, yes, over 100 athletes hit the perfect 20 out of 20. And we've mentioned that this is slightly more stressful, difficult shooting, but they really did produce last night.
Yeah, very, very accurate. The top 3, as you say, all shooting the perfect score. Perot, for me, was in a class of his own.
Perot was on one of these, you know, once a season days where you can absolutely do no wrong. His skiing was strong and relaxed. The shooting was immaculate. Yeah, best day.
Julie Simon, she's had a fair amount of success in this game and this format. Of course, the world champion from Lenzerheide last year. Yet to show her best, Mike, but I think there's been enough of an indication to say she's going to be dangerous. She will be a threat come the Olympics. We haven't quite seen that ballistic shooting that she produced 2-3 seasons ago, and we haven't seen her on her very best ski form, but at least everything is going in the right way. What is it now, 14-15 days before the start of the games? Is it long enough?
You know, with good final training, you can, and pure focus on your shooting, you can bring it up to a much better standard. So shooting can be fixed in the period now to the Olympics. It's the physical side running out of time, really.
Yeah, Sweden reduced to relying on Anna Magnusson, and she starts number 34 in that red group. The top 15 in the World Cup standings all go in the red group. The next 16 through to 30 are in the B-seeded group. And again, we've got, what, some 15 athletes going off prior to that, Mike. We could, and last night, we could have put another, what, 15, even 30 athletes before the B group went off.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was some surprises, you know, outside the young athletes from Germany introduced to their first World Cup racing. Did so well, 0-0-0, and then the last 2 shots being missed, which is so annoying, but quite typical for young and inexperienced athletes. Yeah, Group 3 and 4 are growing rapidly, race by race, which is, it's a shame in a way, because if they go off early, we get to see them. We see a very small percentage of the athletes that start after the last of the red seeds, and tonight that will be Suvi Minkkinen. Had a look down. We should keep an eye out for Julia Kink of Germany. Deidre Irwin goes number 54. Anna Andexer, certainly capable of getting in the top 20 if she shoots well. Anyone else from after the seeded group, Mike, who we should keep an eye out? I was thinking further back, Hannah Ochenthaler, we've seen her shoot the perfect 20 previously. Hasn't been going fantastically well recently, but, you can bring it back. I wondered about Hannah Kebinger. We haven't seen her for a couple of seasons. A German athlete back in tonight. And she has had a 4th position in mass start racing, so potential further back. Now, here's an interesting athlete. 2-3 seasons ago, she was on top of the world, couldn't do anything wrong, and suddenly got the heebie-jeebies when it came to the standing shooting. And unlike Lisa Vitozzi, who's been through the same thing, particularly with the prone shooting, Tandrevold hasn't been able to shake it off. It's been horrible to watch someone, a great biathlete, beginning to lose their way, and in one discipline, and mainly the standing discipline. It really hurts me watching it, actually, at 65% hit rate. And I'm really hoping, having had a break, that Tandrevold has all her magic back today. And I'd love to see her hit at least 19 out of 20. Yeah, if I had €100, I wouldn't put it on her hitting.
all the standing targets, or even 90% of them. It's you know, it is a real shame. She's such a talent. Just shows how important the mindset is in this game and the role that psychologists have to play. I know a number of British athletes who scoffed at the idea of using a psychologist, but you need strategies, you need a game plan.
You need to have, and a psychologist can help you control, you know, think of these thoughts rather than random thoughts. Control your thinking. It's the only way. It's been proved a long time that works. That was interesting watching the end of the barrel. You could actually see her pulse, tiny movement through the rifle. And I noticed Magnussen's pulse was only 41 beats per minute as she was shooting. So you do feel the pulse quite strong through the rifle when you're as low as that.
Yeah. He might be even out of the Norwegian budget, but a quick chat with Paul McKenna might do the trick for Dan Trevol. You know, I'm semi-serious there. I think it would work wonders. Yeah, we're all waiting for the day that she hits 20 out of 20 again. Maybe it will come on the big occasion. She is, you know, where would you put her in the Norwegian team? Shuka Ida clearly ahead of her now, but she's still probably number 2 in the Norwegian team.
I think so. The ski speed's still good, but it has been knocked confidence a little, but let's hope all of that comes back. The course, only 400, it's 12.5 kilometres, 400 metres tonight of climb and undulating, fairly testing course.
Yeah. -3, the weather conditions. The weather for the weekend, just in case you are thinking of heading to Novе-Место. Saturday, it's going to be around 0 degrees, sunny and snowing. Work that one out if you can. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of Scottish weather, I think, coming through, Mike. And then Sunday's a little bit warmer, so the tracks could be softer, wetter on Sunday.
Yeah, that will be interesting for 15 kilometres on the men's side. That's a tough test, and 12.5 again for the women.
Well, let's just cast your eye. There's Lisa Theresa Hauser. Yeah, I think she's Austria's best chance. Certainly, they're getting slightly stronger as a squad, but you know, Mike, until they reduce it to a 3x6 in the relay, I can't see Austria finishing in the top 5.
Yes, work to do. Dorothea Vera, she's going quite early in the big names, but that doesn't normally affect her. Yeah,
good season for Amy Berserger, the best of the Swiss by a long margin, with Haki Gross certainly 50% below where she was last year. No sign of that turning around. Suvi Minkkinen, brilliant from Finland. 2 seasons, a massive climb since 2023. Great to see her on form and challenging for the overall. You know, Lou Jean Monod's only got to get ill for 1 World Cup, and Minkkinen could be in there. So that's why she is racing. She wasn't going to, but decided she could not turn down the opportunity of closing the gap on Jean Monod. Jean Monod promptly said, I'm going to Novе-Место as well. So they're both in action tonight. Chloe Dupont goes for Great Britain. What do you know about her, Mike?
Yes, based in France, parents English, and she was brought up in the French system. She was a good biathlete in the French development side, and she's got a great opportunity here with the British team.
Yeah, similar story to Jacques Jeffries, who's made a really good sort of debut on the World Cup in Le Grand Bonnard. I think reality has hit a little bit since then, but he's getting experience, and be fascinating to see what he can do in coming years.
It will definitely, and just looking at the flags, sorry, but the wind is a little more tricky tonight on the range than I think that it was yesterday for the men's race.
Yeah, well, it's hardly blowing a gale, certainly not the toughest they've seen. I think the fans are going to be more significant. They'll get going if one of the Czech girls produces a good race, Mike. No Davidova, so who are we looking at?
Well, Davidova was the big hope. Yuslova, she's been pretty good throughout the years, quite a long career, over 200 World Cup starts, but hasn't been on great form. And they're bringing in some younger athletes as well, who will probably feel the pressure tonight quite severely.
Well, drawing bib number 1 is Kristina Dimitrenko. and 5 Ukrainians lined up for the race tonight. Did okay in the pursuit in Ruhpolding, hit 20 out of 20, finished in the World Cup points. So again, clear shooting, and she should break into the top 30 tonight, which would be a landmark for her. She's the first to get to test the tracks. How many times did you draw bib number 1?
Only twice from 280 starts. Only twice.
Joanna Yakiela. Yakiela on the track. There's Tandrevold, Mike. Really early start for her. Yeah, she must, you know, what's it like when you've been challenging for the overall World Cup win and suddenly you're not in it, not in the red group or the blue group. Anna Gandler for Austria, been shooting well in the prone positions so far this year. Apologies, we've just had a couple of technical issues. Hopefully we'll sort that out before the seeds get going. Anna Gandler, early start, 91% hit rate in the prone. Solid in the stand as well, so she could well be the pace setter by the time she completes her 12.5k. Tandrevold is next, starting 30 seconds after the Austrian, and then Tolmacheva of Romania going number 6. There is Tandrevold. Didn't race in Ruhpolding, which means she's now dropped down to number 41 in the World Cup standings. Hard to believe. And you know, what was she, 5th in the Olympic sprint in Beijing. Got a silver medal in the World Championships, but that was in the relay. And I know the Norwegians were nervous about her performance. It's the standing shooting that has tripped her up so many times. Tomacheva now for Romania from Khanty-Mansiysk is where she's based. Khanty-Mansiysk used to be one of the regular stops on the biathlon tour right at the end of the season. We had the World Championships there in the middle of Siberia. It really is an extraordinary journey to get there, flying over the winter wastelands, the steeps, for mile upon mile. Now, Anastasia Kuzmina. Of course, connections with Russia as well. Racing for Slovakia, 41 years old, 2-time Olympic sprint champion. Yeah, it's taken a while, but she is getting stronger. She is getting faster, which is great news. And if her shooting and her skiing come together on the same day, who knows? Maybe she can spring a surprise. I cannot see her winning, certainly can't see her winning a gold. I think a medal's unlikely, but a top 10 would be sensational for Kuzmina. Lea Meyer coming up towards the 800-metre mark. Good indication of how hard they've gone out. We'll try and update you on all the splits as they come in. Still very early days. 93 starters in all, and the first of the seeds is Anna Weidel of Germany. She starts number 16. A couple of talented athletes, none more so than Tandrevold in this first group, and so yeah, she looks to be on a steady pace at the moment, certainly not pushing things. 5 times 2.5k, 5 times up this climb is enough to finish off most people. So I think probably a pretty safe tactic. Anna Gandler's gone off hard, 2:21.5, the leading time at the moment. And Tandrevold is going to be some way outside. 5 seconds given away in the first 800 metres. Lisa Vitozzi starting in the middle of the red group. She starts number 42. This is Avakamova for Korea. And again, ski speed is the issue. Now, if the stats are right, she should find herself probably 10 to 15 seconds down on the leaders going through the 800-meter mark. That's because Mina, in her heyday, she was as quick as anyone out there. Very, very strong skier. She's got kids now, come back, trying to make an impression for these games. I think this will be her swan song in the Olympics. Uklek Sledemark from Greenland, based in Geilo actually, which is generally regarded as an alpine resort in central Norway. High, always gets snow. So Tandervold now at 7.4, so a conservative start from probably the best Norwegian here today. Sjøkkeid has had a very exciting season, certainly Norway's big hope in the games, lying third in the World Cup standings, just behind Suvi Minkinen. They're having a good battle. The two Urberg sisters are pretty tight behind. At the moment, Lou Jean-Monod 136 points clear of everyone else. Heidenberg starting for Sweden. Skiing's been looking okay in the last couple of weeks, still on around 75% hit rate for the targets, which is certainly 10 percentage points too low to be a consistent challenger. Akiela for Poland in for her shoot, started number 2. Maya is the first out.
Italy from
Meyer at 16.9. Yeah, good start from Meyer. Comes from Lentz, which is, as the name suggests, not far from Lenzerheide, where we had the World Championships last year. So Tandervold for shoot number 1. What are we going to see?
So I really hope Patrick Tandervold, for her own performance, future performances, this goes well. She's taking a long time, so clearly she's deliberately, really desperately trying to get all 5. And that's okay. You can build your confidence when the first 5 go down.
Well, this is the best group we've seen so far tonight, but she's got 2 more to go. That's smack in the middle. Now this would be, if we still had them, a halfpenny piece. Throws the last one slightly high right, but they're all down. Look at the time for the shoot, 42 seconds. We know what her instructions were, Mike. Hit the targets, get some confidence from getting the targets down.
It's a real shame, Patrick, and sometimes when you take such a long time, you're way out of rhythm, but you can see and feel her pain that she just wants to start hitting again, and I think that's okay. Hopefully the stand shoot coming up next, she'll have some flow and confidence back again.
Now, Kuzmina. Oh, it's expensive. Remember, in the short individual, it's a 45-second addition to the time as opposed to the minute that we get in the normal individual race over 15K. And yeah, not bad, but I think Kuzmina, if she's going to finish top 10, which would be fantastic, I think she needs to hit 18 minimum here tonight. So to throw one away on the first prone shoot.
Yes, and Kuzmina's confidence, Patrick, was it 11 or was it 10 that she missed at the last weekend? And that really does knock you. You can bring it back. Ideally, she would have preferred, obviously, 5 rather than 1 missed first time in.
Lehtinen for Finland. Just looking at my sheet, it says she lives in Finland. We know that. Any idea whereabouts?
Lehtinen, yes.
Is she a sort of Kontiolahti lass?
She's Joensuu, very much in the town, which is, what, 8 kilometres from the venue, Kontiolahti venue, very famous venue. And she's up there training every day. It certainly was for the last week in October.
Yeah, Lisa Theresa Hauser just starting for Austria. And we have a new leader, Lehtinen ahead of Meyer at the moment. And what do we got? Tandervold 20 seconds down, having taken a 42-second shoot and skied pretty slowly on the first loop. Things could improve. Joanne Reid.
Joanne Reid, a 2-year break from biathlon, Patrick, and I think she's come back in strong earlier, well, at the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, that 4th shot missed, which is a setback, but with 15 more to go, you put the bad visit behind you and try and build again for better.
Yeah, still over 50% of the athletes clear on the first shoot. Verbornikova, what a reception. That's fantastic for her, but she's got to hold her nerve now. She's only 25, got plenty of experience. She's been in the top 10 of races, so I think in the absence of Davidova, the fans are thinking that maybe Verbornikova is the one that can bring them a good result. I just wonder last night, Mike, as we said, the atmosphere was a little bit dead. Was that because the Czechs were below par?
They seemed to really cheer them on anyway. I don't think it really quietened them down too much. And I think the expectations are so high. They want to get a top 5 tonight. They want to place on the podium, and that's always a problem.
Yeah, Lainamo starting for Finland now. She's got a biggest gap of everyone between her prone shooting, which is 92%, and her stand, which is 56. It's even bigger than Tandervold's.
And remember, Lainamo, that an incredible second place in the individual in Östersund, and that's why I love the individual race. It allows outsiders to come through, but they do need to hit all the targets.
Yeah, Yislova, by the sound of the crowd, has hit a few targets. They've all gone down, and that gets the Vuvuzelas going for the first time tonight. Schneider for Germany on the range. The timing is pretty good from Schneider. 3rd fastest, 7.6 seconds outside Heidenberg, who was the fastest in.
Schneider, it's a good, safe flow at 4.1 seconds. She's one, Patrick, one of 10 or so biathletes in the women's field that lean the rifle in towards them, cant the rifle. And it worked well.
Would you coach that into an athlete or out of an athlete?
Well, you know, when you look at 50-meter shooters, the Summer Olympic shooters, pure shooters, they can't the weapon in prone shooting. So it really has come from that kind of background. But then, of course, biathletes have to stand, and you need to train the mind to keep the rifle vertical, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, the cheer going up for Jean Monod. They always respect the top athletes, and Jean Monod is away and clear in the World Cup rankings. So consistent. A bad race is still a good race by most people's standards. And, of course, with those 3 victories so far this year, you know, from the 12 races we've had, Mike, we've had 8 different winners. How many endurance events can boast that sort of variety? Jean Monod's had 3. The 2 Urberg sisters have had 2 apiece. Otherwise, the victories have all gone to different athletes. Maya, 5 out of 5 to stay clear. And she's fastest into the range, but only 3 athletes have got to this stage.
I love the way that Myers just building her comfort zone. I thought she'd get 5. She took her time. Oh, and then when one goes, the second always does.
Now, Shavatova, it's her turn to get the crowd on their feet. Good job. Really good job. And the time is good. She's the fastest in. She shot... I think that's probably close to the fastest time, Mike. 27 seconds, and that is the perfect start.
Oh, I love that. I felt really nervous for her, Patrick, with the 54th position missing 3, and then the 52nd position missing 6 targets on Saturday and Sunday. I thought, how is she going to pull that back today?
You know me, I'm a realist. There's a long way to go. 15 targets still to fall. I'd love to see them go down. Batovska Fialkova now. Now, this looks really quick. My goodness, she's taken a bit of time. She is the fastest in. 10 seconds quicker than Schneider, and she's 15 seconds up on Tandrevold's time coming in.
A long time to the first shot, though, 18 seconds. Some will be going at 12 seconds.
Yeah, I think that means that Shavatova's going to hold on to the lead, whatever happens. 5 go down, 14 seconds to stop the gun. What lane was she on? Number 13, 14. So it's going to be a while before she stops the clock. Tandrevold now. The meltdown generally comes on shot number 4.
Oh, you predicted it. Well,
4 out of 5 is pretty... It's good, Mike, but I haven't lost my lunch money.
Well, you know, she's looking more in control, and missing the 4th didn't put her off. She got the 5th shot, so that's encouraging.
Anna Schupp with 5 out of 5 in the prone. We're now up to 2/3 going clear. Belina of Latvia has gone and missed 2 in the prone, so that's a bad start. Dorothea Vera, what a fantastic reception for her. I think they all know that this is the last time they're going to see Vera racing here in Novе-Место, unless she has a sudden change of mind. I was under the impression, Mike, that she'd hang the skis up as soon as the Olympics were over, but if she's in the running for a bit of a crystal globe, I think she may go all the way to the end.
She might. We'll have to wait and see. I think she'll be happy to hang the skis up after the Olympics.
Yeah, 20 out of 20 tonight, and she will definitely be in contention for the individual crystal globe. But if she walks out of Antolz with a medal, that may be the perfect way to sign off.
Yes, and go back to Vera. She has 3 Olympic bronze medals, 2 of them in the mixed relay, 1 in the sprint. I think she's going to add that to that collection, maybe up to a total of 5 in total by the end of the games.
Yeah, her best chance may come in the mixed relay, to be honest. The Italians look as though they've got a fantastic squad. Julia Simon is away. The French brilliant in the relays as well. They're going to be tough to beat in all the races come the Olympics. Remember, the 8th of Feb is the first day. Lisa Teresa Hauser starting 24, Mrs. number 3. That's expensive at this stage of the race. And 3 seconds in between. She is not going to hit the top 5.
Incredible in Östersund with the perfect 20 out of 20 in the pursuit competition. She's one of these biathletes nowadays that she'll have one really top day in say 8 to 10 days of racing.
Question is, which event is it going to be? Which event is it going to be? And certainly the Austrians could do with I can't see Austria taking a medal in the men's. I can certainly see Camille Benet getting something from the Olympic Games. She might get something here tonight. Quietly ticking over, Mike. You know, every time I see her position in the World Cup standings, I think, how has she managed that? She's up in 7th place on 441 points and consistently getting in the top 10.
She certainly is. Bobrovnikova, a lot of background noise each time she hits. Didn't put her off.
Yeah, that's a good shoot from Vabornikova. 11 seconds outside the best coming in. She shot reasonably quickly. She could move up into the... Is she going to go into the top 10? Yeah, she will. Comfortably. Top 5, great start, and Czechia with Shvatova on top of the table, Vabornikova in 5th place at the moment, and they have 9th position as well, so perfect start for the host nation. Lisa Vitozzi, pretty much the season has gone as well as she could have expected. Mixed bag in Ruhpolding, Mike. Her relay shooting was out of this world. I watched it in slow-mo. Her fingers moving quicker than an Irish fiddler's. It was amazing to watch, and so relaxed.
So relaxed, and she didn't even consider missing. You know, it wasn't there at all. The rifle was so steady all of the time. Jean Richard must be feeling the pressure, you know, she hasn't cemented, you know, and a guaranteed start at the Olympics. Oh, Yislova.
Yeah, meltdown for Yislova. It's what we've seen many a time here in Novе-Mesto.
What is happening with Schneider? I can't figure it out. She is still on the same target. 3 penalties. Now,
if you were going to bet on one athlete clearing 5 in the prone, Lou Jean Monod would be it. Look at that, cutting the 10 ring, and again. Well, this is as good a group as we saw from Tanvold. In fact, not quite as good, but it's still very, very safe shooting. And the total time with an average of about 2.5 seconds in between the shots, 31.6. Not risky, but solid start. And Lou Jean Monod goes 6 seconds outside the leader and in 4th place.
Jean Monod's ski time into the range, nearly 10 seconds off the fastest. I think she's pacing herself tonight, making sure those first go down, and she'll probably open up on the last lap. You can see Scott Himes' hair blowing in the wind. The wind has picked up.
Are we going to put Brézard Boucher in the same boat as Tandrevold, Mike, or do you think her confidence levels are a little bit higher?
I do think they're higher, Patrick. It looked better for me. It looked much better in Ruhpolding, only missing 2 in the sprint, although 5 in the pursuit wasn't great, let's be truthful.
Yeah, and it's the stand that has been the problem for Brézard Boucher for the last, 12 months, certainly. Shvatova...
I didn't see what happened, but she had to, she had to hand feed a spare. That doesn't help.
So, 4 out of 5. Not bad going. Brézard Boucher goes ahead of Jean Monod and into 5th place, 10 seconds down. Solid start from the French team so far. Now, Anna Magnusson, is she going to perform in the absence of the Öberg sisters, who have been the mainstay of the Swedish team for many, many years now, for the last, certainly the last 7 years, Mike, really, since Pyeongchang, when Hannah Öberg, of course, walked away with a gold medal.
She certainly did. Magnusson, I thought they were going to go down. She had some problems taking the rear snow cover off. That maybe put her slightly on the back foot. Skiing so fast, Batovska, Fialkova, but missing 1. She can still ski her way out of 1 penalty. Tandrevold for the 3rd time, so it's prone shooting. Anne Juppe looks a solid and strong position. The rifle appears to be steady.
The clock never stops ticking. Add that to the missed targets now. Dorothea Vera, Mike, that's a dreadful start. 2 misses. Not sure what that is about. Very uncharacteristic from her. I'll give you a readout on the shooting speed. She's 5th fastest shooting. Passler, her teammate, is the fastest so far. Another miss from Tandra Vold. She needs this desperately. Rebuilds the position, but you can see the elbows stay static, but the forearms moving all over the shop. 42 seconds for the first prone shoot, and Tandra Vold, when it comes up on the screen, I'll let you know, 50 seconds for the second prone shoot. My goodness.
Oh, I feel for her. I mean, that's beginners, with respect, that is almost beginners biathlon, and what we've witnessed there from Kuzmina is horrendous. 1 hit from 5 shots fired.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether Tandra Vold's been told to take her time and make sure, but anyone who plays golf knows that the longer you take, the more likely you are to mess it up. It gives you thinking time that you don't necessarily need. Look at Julia Simon, she's just going for it. Shot by shot, this is going to be sub 30 by a decent margin, 5 out of 5. And she's going to go up the order.
Reaction
24.5, so that's the second fastest shoot so far.
Impressive, and pure reaction shooting, and sometimes when you're in the flow and you're comfortable with reaction shooting, see it, take it, it's very simple, and it keeps thinking away. You just react.
Yeah, the French flags are amassing at the top of the leaderboard after that first shoot. Tomilcheva now on to shoot number 3, yet to miss a target, and certainly a PB may be coming her way if she can hit the whole lot tonight.
She probably will. She is one of these biathletes. The left elbow gets tucked almost under the center line of the rifle barrel. I was just looking, Patrick, she's from Khanty-Mansiysk in Siberia. It's 33 degrees, minus 33 degrees right now in her home city.
Yeah. I'll stop complaining about +2 then. 5 out of 5, 15 out of 15 for Tomilcheva. That's good work. Yeah, slightly extraordinary. Most people have a sort of triangle created by the forearms, Mike. She's so flexible in the shoulder. All the tension going through the cuff.
It is the whole weight of the rifle for Bornikova.
Shavatova's on 9 out of 10, and for Bornikova, although she looked to have broken the position before she pulled the trigger on that last one, it's still gone down, and that will keep her in the running for a top 10. Now, Lisa Vitozzi, her teammate Vera, missing the first 2 in the prone.
At least we know this will be so rapid, one of the fastest.
24.5, the fastest. Has she gone sub 20? Not quite, but 22.2. It's beautiful to watch, and you just have to appreciate the carefree attitude, Mike. So many are sort of racked with nerves. Vitozzi just lets it go, and there's a woman who used to struggle to hit 1 out of 5.
Incredible how she turned that around.
Well, I think Kokkonen would claim that he's the one who turned it around, Mike. That, you know, backs up the argument that there's always a place for someone who's it doesn't necessarily need to be a qualified psychologist, someone who knows how your mind is working, and maybe someone who's been through the same issues themselves.
Oh, indeed, and Kokkonen, he's patient, all Finns are, aren't they? And he just rebuilt the whole structure, changed a couple of technical aspects, and then started slowly building confidence back and taking the thinking away. I think that was the secret.
Relatively late start in terms of the seeds for Amy Basurga. This is looking very respectable indeed. 6th fastest in, a 27.4. Now, she should come out. I think she's going to find herself in the top 3.
Basurga, she's shown the speed in rope holding. She's shown a lot of good shooting confidence recently.
Yeah, that's exciting times. Why didn't we see that sort of form last year? Lou Jean-Monod makes it 10 out of 10, Mike. And having had a slow first lap, she's suddenly going to leap to the top of the leaderboard. And the yellow bib is not phasing her this year. Remember, last year, she had it a couple of times, never won a race wearing it. So she was delighted to get a victory with the yellow bib. And I think that has calmed the nerve. She's starting to get used to it, like Johannes Tingesbo did over the last 6 years. Michelon with a miss on 3. Brésard Boucher, can she clear 5? Looking good at the moment. Go on. Yeah, her kids will have enjoyed watching that one. Halfway there. Well, this is quick, Mike, and Jean-Monod's lead, I think, is going to be short-lived. Quite a long way to ski, so it's going to be single figures.
So happy for Brésard Boucher, and she's another one of those athletes, 1 in 10 or 15 races, she'll throw a magical performance in terms of shooting. Remember, at the Olympics, 48th in the sprint competition, 40th in the individual. I think we thought she had no hope, and then in the mass start, she wins the race. So some very bad days, but some excellent days as well.
Yeah, and of course she won the World Championship sprint this year, or last year I should say, but did get 3rd in the pursuit as well, and then of course got a gold in the relay, so that was quite a good haul. Shavatova, come on, 18 out of 20 we wanted. Well, 17's the best she can do now. 1 shoot still to go, and Shavatova was the 2nd fastest in, only 14 seconds off Botovska. Botovska actually starting a minute behind her, who is on the range at the moment.
The anger in her face, Shavatova, that shot went high. I'm quite sure it was just delayed thinking, and she knew it.
Just going back to the start of the race, Mike, Brésard Boucher, who's going okay, the fastest athlete through 1.3 kilometres, and pretty much just checking, Minkkinen started number 50 and has been through, so all the top athletes have been through that first split at 1.3. Here is Minkkinen right on cue. This is looking good. Well, that has cost her, because she was the 2nd fastest in. Another miss from Vera, and another one. Oh, it's not going her way. She'll be wishing she'd gone home rather than made the journey from Ruhpolding to Novе-Mesto. This is putting a big dent in her hopes, Mike, of winning the Crystal Globe for the individual races this year, and may well make up her mind about what to do after the Olympics.
And, you know, it's so important to be comfortable, confident in the 2 weeks prior to the Olympics. Already 4 out of 10 missed. That's stripping some of the confidence away.
Now, 17 out of 20 goes down as a good shoot for Tandrevold. Can she... Oh, don't miss the last 3. That's interesting. She's got into the habit when she misses, she goes for the same target again. Generally, the rule, Mike, is move on just in case the target isn't working. But I think nowadays, I think that's a little bit of old school, an old school approach, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. It's more psychology. But I think what we witnessed there from Tandrevold is a massive improvement. Delighted to see that. Even though she had to take a slow process and really concentrating on every shot, it worked. This is so solid, so confident, except the last one.
Yeah. Jules Simon still 20 seconds down coming in, so that's going to put her probably closer to a minute than 50 seconds behind. And yeah, work to do for Simon, but her teammate is leading, which may not be the news she wants. 58.9. 2 athletes who've got a little bit of history. 8 places between them, but still some way to go.
Well, Hauser had that bad start. She seems to have brought it all back in. Oh, and then she misses the, well, what is the 15th shot?
Yeah, Hauser 28.9, fastest on that third shoot so far. Julie Simon, Mike, her standing shoot, no surprise, fastest time 22.6. Vitozzi started 42. She should be in any moment now for the standing shoot. And if it's as quick as the prone that we saw from her, she could well take the lead in terms of shooting speed.
The reason Hauser's going so far left, the quickest race line is on the right, but it's very much broken up and soft. It's very sugary, transformed snow here.
Here is Vitozzi. It's still fantastic. I know she missed number 4, but you've just got to admire the nerve, haven't you, Mike?
I think so. She's absolutely going into this normal zone of see it, take it. One little error there, and she probably knew exactly the flinch in her body. Lianamo is having a horrible second time in for prone shooting. What has happened? She's probably one of the least experienced, Patrick, in the field, having come from a cross-country sprint background.
Yeah, Vitozzi's shoot at 23 seconds, but of course 45 seconds added, and that's pushed her down into 5th position. She is the fastest athlete to have missed a target so far, and ahead of her, Brézard-Boucher, Jean Monod, Haki Gross, Mike, having the race of her season. She's up in 3rd place after 2. Amy Paserga, her teammate, having a bit of a meltdown, having started so well. That's a shame.
That's a real shame. Just a couple of athletes stumbling off the shooting mat. I can't see why. Here's Jean Monod.
Another 5? I suspect so. The first 5 were good, all safely inside the 8 ring. Central to low so far, and that one goes high right just to prove me wrong, but 15 out of 15, and she's going to have a fair amount of time to play with. Brézard-Boucher started just 1 minute behind Jean Monod. She'll be in to shoot any moment now. So the World Cup leader, 22.03 after 3 shoots, has the lead. Early starters just coming across the line. Switzerland leading with Meyer. She might as well enjoy it. This is a good performance from here. Here is Brézard-Boucher. Cannot afford a miss if she wants to win. She's got only a 2-second lead over Jean Monod, who is getting faster and faster with every loop. And I think that miss may well be handing the victory to Jean Monod, who doesn't look like missing at all. Still, 14 out of 15. It's okay.
It's okay. It's really much improved. Brézard-Boucher, she's totally in control during the process there. And normally she's hurried, she's stressed. I love what I'm seeing tonight, but pity she missed one.
This is good from Preutz. It's really good from Preutz. Lovely shooting to get to the halfway stage without a mistake. A 24-4, and that's only 2 seconds down on Julie Simon, who has the fastest shoot time on that second shoot. Now, Shvatova, meltdown time as the pressure mounts. The mistakes come thick and fast. That's so disappointing. 3 misses up to this stage, and then misses 3 on that last shoot. That's her chance of a good position gone. Preutz goes out in top spot. How about that? It's not going to be the French who have it all their own way.
This looks great from Preutz. She hasn't had a fabulous season like she did last year, and this is when she needs the form the most, just prior to the Olympics. Tangible, Patrick, it's an early start number because of her lack of World Cup points, if you like. It hasn't been a great season. She missed Ruhpolding, but looking much better tonight. Even though she's taking a long time on the range, the targets mostly are going down. And that's got to be a positive in a storm of negativity up until this point. good effort. It's a minute behind it at this moment, but it will extend as some of the big names come in.
Yeah, I think she's going to struggle to pick up too many World Cup points with that performance. What about Vera? Can she get some targets down? She does. So misses 2 on the first 2 shoots, which has put her out of contention. But we said that in Östersund, Mike. She missed 1 on the first 2 shoots. So she got to the halfway stage with 8 out of 10. We wrote her off and she went on and won.
She did. It didn't look possible when she did the first time in, but missing 4 out of the first 10. Yes, if she gets the next 5 down, which I think she probably will, it'll still be a good outing.
So Preutz is the leader at halfway with a time of 14:34. Haven't had so many, what is it, 4 short individuals we've had over the years, introduced back in 2017, tried out on the IBU Cup initially. First came in when the weather was atrocious and they shortened the course, and then the idea spread to the World Cup.
Yes, and 3 of the 4 winners of those only 4 short individuals are here tonight. Heike Gross won in Antholz in 24. And Chamonix, of course, won Kontiolahti 25, and Popuka was won by Simon.
Yeah. Simon winning that with a clear shoot, 38.08, and here she is on the range, going through her shot. Simon down, where was she after 2? Down in 11th position, another athlete who started slowly. That's going to help her cause, up to 9th by the time she came in. Another 5 targets down. I suspect she's going into the top 3.
I think that's okay, and you know, the strength that she has in her all-round shooting performances over the last 6-7 years, you wouldn't put your house on it, but you would suggest she'll get 5 out of 5 last time.
Now, who's going to bet against the French winning the relay, Mike? They've got 1, 2, and 3 after the third shoot. It's going well.
It's a strong team. It's an incredibly strong team. But strange things happen at the Olympics, and you know, and when you're really nailed on as favourite, we see that especially in the individual races, where it's 1 minute added onto your time at the Olympics. It does affect many of the big names. Tomilcheva,
excellent shooting. She is the only athlete so far to have cleared all the targets, and the Romanian deserves a top 15 for that. Very early start for her, and Tomilcheva started 6th. Her PB is 32nd. I don't have any doubt that she's going to beat that today. So a change on the sights for Lisa Vitozzi. What was that? 1 click right?
I didn't see it. I was looking at Bornikova.
Oh, it's falling apart again, Mike. It worked well in Oberhof. It worked well for half of Ruhpolding. And now the mistakes are starting to appear at just the wrong time in the season, and she looks a little bit concerned there. A look up at the board, and she'll see she's dropped right down the order. 2:07 off the leaders. It's not going to be a golden day for Vitozzi. She's in 8th place, and although she's the fastest with 3 misses, she's got a massive time to make up, and she is not going to challenge the 3 French.
Definitely not. You could see her giving herself a pep talk or an angry talk, and it was just basic mistakes in her process.
Final shoot for Jean-Richard.
It's great to see the hand support there, the hand completely locking in, the fingers absolutely sink into that wooden framework. Big moment for Chamonix, but she's been in big moments many times. She missed the first.
Now, that would shake the nerve of most, but it does give Brassard-Boucher a chance. So, down go the targets. Brassard-Boucher with 1 miss so far. If she can clear the last 5 in the stand, she'll be back on level pegging with Lou Jean-Monod, who, Mike, I think has paced this one pretty well, hasn't she? This is worth a top, absolutely no doubt. She's going into the top 3, and all likelihood that she's going to pick up her 4th win of the season.
And Boucher just, I think that was her coming in now. And Jean Monod will know full well that Boucher is having a great outing so far.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. So many of them asked not to be given information about other athletes. There's enough going on in your mind to cope with that. So, Boucher, first one is down. Speed will not be fast. This is all important. The hardest two. Now, there are a lot of people willing her on. Down it goes.
Yes!
And so she comes out with a 19 out of 20. How timely would a victory for Boucher, down in 10th position in the World Cup standings. She's challenged for the overall World Cup win before. Never done better than 4th, I think it is.
What a performance. Only one missed out of 20. Didn't go well last weekend. Certainly back to her best to date.
Now, she will get splits, Mike. She will get splits. And I think Boucher, who produced the fastest time up to 1.3, may pay a price for that fast start. Very much in contrast to Jean Monod, who cruised round the first 2.5 kilometre loop. What about Preutz? She's in the money. This is good. Preutz coming in 3rd place, 4.7 off the lead. That miss has put her in the same boat as Jean Monod and, of course, Boucher. Anna Magnusson, well, she could certainly recover from those 2 early misses.
That's twice she's had to go back and lift the rear side cover. Drills seem strange.
That's okay, though. That is okay. What's she going to end up? Just over a minute behind the leaders. That will put her into 3rd place by my calculation. For Bornikova on 1:35. That's a good performance from the Czech, Mike. I think the fans will be happy with that.
It's a good time, and only missing 2. The shooting isn't great tonight all round. It's a difficult night with the fog and the lack of lights anyway.
Now, Suvi Minkkinen, the last of the seeds, in to shoot number 3. Ski speed is okay, but those 3 misses early on, 45 seconds, remember, for each miss.
She seems to have got her composure back. Minkkinen, such a good shot most days of asking. Certainly a poor start at 70% for the first 10.
Yeah, had she gone clear, she'd only be 10 seconds outside the best. But as it is, she's 2:25 behind, down in 17th place. The bad news for her, Mike, is that her main rival in the World Cup, Jean Monod, is bidding for the win.
Jean Monod is on a great day. I just think that Boucher, having started 1 minute behind, will get the advantage in terms of split timings to push Boucher faster down the track.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, because having been a second behind, Boucher going through 10.8 is now a second ahead. But this course, like so many, punishes you hard if you take the first half too fast. And Jean Monod, I think, has produced the most intelligent race as far as pacing goes. Hauser of Austria, 4 misses. And so, what's that, 3 minutes added. But she's only a minute outside Meyer's time. Meyer, I think, will be delighted that she's still there in top spot. Started number 3. It's a while since we saw the best. Now, Julia Simon, 5 out of 5 would have put her in a very strong position, Mike.
Surprised, I'm really surprised. I thought she had the capacity, the strength, the mind power to put all 5 down. She knew how important that was.
Yeah, she came in 3rd place. And that miss, I think, is going to give a couple of athletes a chance. I think Simon will still be in 5th when she exits. She is in 5th, 1:18 behind. Here comes Bornikova. It's been a really good performance from her. Picks up the speed, responds to the crowd. Just 50 metres or so to go. And she's going into top spot by a long, long way. And this could certainly be her best result of the season. Look at there on top of the table, 37-34. That's what the fans needed.
They really did. It's not going to last long. Maybe, what, 4 minutes until Breza Boucher and Jean Monod come in.
Yeah. Jean Monod started number 30. Breza Boucher started number 32. It seems like they only left the range a minute ago, but it's only a 2.5K loop, and look at that margin. 2 minutes 11. It's an absolute age. She'd be wishing they had a pursuit following on. Lisa Vitozzi, enjoy the speed of this shoot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Another sub 20, not quite, just held back a little bit, Mike, and this time got 5 instead of 3.
That was better. Here comes Jean Monod. Jean Monod's had a very strong last lap. Breza Boucher is now equal timing with her at 11.6.
Yeah. Breza Boucher possibly going a bit too hard at the start of that final lap. There's the target time. Another wonderful performance from Lou Jean Monod. She'll have to wait and see whether that is good enough for win number 4 of the season. 35.51 the time. Out goes Lisa Vitozzi. The crowd turn their attention to Justine Breza Boucher. As I said, down in 10th place in the World Cup standings. She's going to have to work very, very hard. 25 seconds. Oh, I think it's going to be close, Mike. She had 0.9 of a second to spare at 12.1. It's one of the closest time trial races we've seen so far this year. She knows exactly what she's got to do into the last straight. Now she can see the finish. She's got 40 meters to go.
Come on.
And she's going to make it, surely. But it's only fractions of a second. 1.4 the difference. How about that? A 2-second swing on that final 2.5-kilometer loop, and Breza Boucher taking full advantage of all the splits she got on the way round. She'll be the first to thank the coaches that gave her the timings, and it's a massive smile of relief from Breza Boucher, Mike. She's been on the podium this year, but only once, and she's finally got a win.
I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. It's her best shooting of the season, without a doubt. And the day she hits nearly all targets, she can win many, many times.
Yeah, she's finally got off that 13th win. If she stays there, no one's going to challenge it, surely. 50 was the last bib number. 50 yet to go through shoot number 4. That will be Suvi Minkinen, but she's way off the pace. Deidre Irwin, actually, Mike, we haven't mentioned the American. She was going great guns at the 3rd shoot, sitting in 5th position, and has yet to come in for her final shoot. And Haki Gross, started number 41, has come out of the last shoot in 3rd place. I can't believe it.
That is incredible turnaround of form and self-confidence for Heike Gross.
Yeah, Magnusson recovered well. She produced some excellent standing shooting, 100% hit on the stand, and that's put her into 3rd. She's pushed Vornikova off the podium.
That's incredible from Heike Gross. I'm just going back, looking at her shooting. What a turnaround.
Well, I've printed out the top 40 in the World Cup standings. She's not even there. She's not there. It's been that bad a season. How on earth has she turned that around? The ski speed is back now. Preutz with one final shot. Oh, it throws wide. And Preutz was coming into that shoot. She was in 2nd place, in a position to split the French athletes and in a position to challenge for the win, but not now with that miss.
That was out of character for Preutz. She's one of the best final 5 shot in the women's field, in my opinion. But clearly, she's not back at her best form yet, and she'll be. It's still got 2 weeks to go.
But Mike, she's missed 2. She's only 51 seconds off the lead, so that will give her the confidence that she is a potential gold medalist come Antolz in the Olympic Games. Haki Gross has been pushed down into 4. Is 12 seconds slower than Preutz of Germany coming out of that 4th shoot. So she is not going to win, and she's going to struggle to get on the podium as well.
This hill, I think, has become tougher with the tracks breaking up. It's almost like skiing in deep sand, the conditions up this climb. This has to be Julia Simon. The lean forward, the wide arms.
Yeah, Julia Simon in 5th last time we saw, 1:30 behind. After the last shoot, she's down in 7th, so work to do, but she needs to gain quite a lot of time. Score is the best of the Norwegians so far today. She's had a great run, and that's the first time we mentioned her name. She started number 33, hit 19 out of 20, and is 124 down. So we'll run down the leaderboard once Simon is across the line. Yet another French athlete into the top 5. They've got 3 of the top 5 at the moment. So Breza Boucher leads with 35.02. Jean Monod in 2nd. Magnusson of Sweden 3rd. Score of Norway. Great run, and I'm pretty sure that is going to be a PB from her. We'll just check that on the sheets. 27th. It's a massive PB for score. Simon in 5. For Bornikova of Czechia in 6. Just being pushed down to 7 by Vitozzi at 12.1. So that will change. Meyer of Switzerland still in the top 10 in 7th. Batovska is in 8. Remenova, who we didn't mention, in 9. And Dimitrenko of Ukraine, who started number 1, is still in 10th position, Mike. You mentioned the tracks. The temperature at around 0 at the moment. It's cut up quite badly on the steep climbs.
It definitely has, and I think each athlete on each rotation of this 2.5 track, you feel it as the race progresses. And I think Vitozzi's had a decent day, having had a poor middle part of the race. Perfect in first time, perfect in last time. Yeah, a little wobble in the middle. Yeah, Vitozzi in 7th place at the last split. Has she gained? She has. She's done well. She's gone ahead of Bornikova, and Lisa Vitozzi limits the damage in terms of the World Cup. I think, with Lou Jean Monod having another blinder, Mike, are we really looking at the battle for 2nd place rather than the win? It feels like that. It's still a way to go in the season with 3 World Cups left after this one. But yeah, she's so solid. Haki Gross, brilliant. Yeah, best we've seen from her this season by a long, long way. And yeah, she likes racing here in Novе-Mesto. The course suits her. As you can see tonight, her best shooting, her best skiing of the season, both put together on the same night. And she finds herself in the top 4 at the moment. Julia Simon, Deidre Irwin, Mike, has had an absolutely storming race. We need to pick up on her at some stage. She started exactly 5 minutes behind Amy Basurga, who was going really well at in the early stages. Missed 2 on that first stand. Here is Deidre Irwin. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. And she could well move into the top 5. Looks relaxed and focused. What a shame. Yeah, just saw the tension come across her face. 4 out of 5, 19 out of 20. She would have certainly settled for that if you offered it last night. But what she would have given for a 20 out of 20. Steiner of Austria, late starter. Often Steiner, she's good through the rifle. She takes pressure well. Shot the perfect score at the IBU Cup in Brezhno. That was a 10-shot race. Beautiful. 5 more to go, and she could join Tomilcheva, who is the only athlete through the 4th shoot to have cleared 20 out of 20. Michelin with 16. Wow. Work to do. Just misses out on a top 10 for now, but the French still have 4 in the top 11 of the standings at the moment, and they're sitting pretty on the top of the podium with 1 and 2. I think Julia Simon will be frustrated, Mike, to see her teammates up there. I think she will, but I'm trying to find Benet. I expected a lot from Benet, but she's missed 5 tonight, so she's way down the result sheet at the finish. 40th position, is it? Now, Proit had a decent lead over Anna Magnusson of Sweden, who's sitting in 3rd at the moment. I would have thought she'd be able to hang on to that. There was an 11-second gap going through 11.6 Ks. It's only a 12.5-kilometer race.
Magnussen's tying at 106. It's much, much closer than Preutz would have wanted. Magnussen has finished tremendously well, but she's going to be pushed down. Preutz goes into the top 3.
Well, Preutz looked really tired in my take there, as tired as we've ever seen her on the last lap. And Magnussen is often a very strong finisher.
Yeah, from a 12-second lead of Magnussen, Mike, that was reduced to 4. Marlene Fichtner. This is looking okay.
We haven't mentioned many of the Germans tonight because they haven't really been getting the targets that they would have liked to put down.
Yeah, when they miss early, the director loses interest, and it's very, very difficult to follow all the athletes on the computer. But she's come back well. Now, Michelin on 2:27 is, I think, going to be pushed down a slot. She is. So Fichtner into 12th position, and in terms of the Germans, she is number 2. Preutz sitting in 3rd, Fichtner in 12, and we have to go all the way down to 29. Weidel in 29, Schneider in 30.
I think that's good from Fichtner. She's only 22, 13th World Cup outing today. She's beginning to show some of her success as a junior, now in senior level.
Yeah, Minkinen won't be happy with that. She will not be happy with that. Second place in the World Cup standings at the start of today. Schurkaida isn't here. Well, she's lucky, Mike, because the 3 athletes behind her have all decided not to compete here. Anna Magnussen on 5:01 started today, 81 points behind. So I think Minkinen is going to hang on to that second place.
But out of character for Minkinen to miss 4 targets in a 20-shot race. Gasparin, another Swiss athlete. In fact, look at the Swiss athletes, 10th, 11th and 12th. Beserga, Meyer and Gasparin.
Yeah, and this is not bad from Sidorowicz of Poland. 8th position at the last split coming out of the final shoot. So she's hanging on to that at the moment. And her margin to Julia Simon is about 7-8 seconds. Be surprised if she manages to pull that in. Vera down in 20th position at the moment and is going to be pushed down to 21. So no confidence booster for Dorothea Vera or Lisa Vitozzi, Mike. That's probably the worst possible results for the Italians.
It is, and there's always risk taking your key athletes to the World Cup prior to the Olympic Games. You know, negative outcomes can really wobble, could knock some confidence out of you. But there is still the mass starts on Sunday.
Yeah, and all the top athletes will get a start in that. Yeah, it's a good thing it's not a pursuit race, Mike.
It is, and I think Vera will stay for that. Will they take part tomorrow in the mixed relays and the single mixed relays? Maybe not.
Well, this is a cracking race from Steiner. She's still got 1 shoot to go. Irwin of USA was up in the top 5. That 1 miss in the stand has pushed the American down into 12th place. She's up to 11 at 11.6, and she's got 10 seconds to make up on Amy Beserga, which I think is going to be a tough task. Here we go with one of the other Americans, Margie Freed. Yeah.
Well done. To miss the second, great composure to steady yourself, get the final 3. Job done. Another Swiss athlete looking great. 1 shot missed from 15 fires, still a way to go. And Mettler, Only 10 World Cups. This is her 10th outing at World Cups, so not overly experienced. Well, Deidre Irwin, of course, remember that great day at the Olympics in the 15-kilometre, where she finished 7th on a very windy day in Beijing. Job done, mission accomplished, just outside top 10 for Deidre Irwin, 11th position at the moment. That'll probably drop down maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, really healthy mix of nations in the top positions. Yes, I know the French have dominated with 1 and 2. Great battle between Brésard Boucher and Jean Monod. And Mike just shows the value of starting 1 minute behind your biggest rival, just like we saw from the Urbergs. 2 successive races, they started 1 minute apart, and the sister that started second won on both occasions. Didn't just beat the other, but they won the race.
Yeah, amazing. Sidorovic, she likes these races, the individuals, 4th previously in Contiolahti in the same race.
Yeah, she was in the top 10 in the last split. She's going to squeeze into 10th place. Amy Basurga gets pushed out, but maybe deservedly so, having missed 3. Now Steiner looking to become just the 2nd athlete to clear all 20 targets. Hold your nerve. Slight break in the rhythm. This is the tough one. Excellent.
Beautiful. Gus Feiner, he's delighted.
Yeah, I think everyone in the audience, myself included, holding their breath before that last one. And
that's a smile.
Yeah, big smile. So 20 out of 20, and within a minute now, this could shake up the top 10. She's comfortably in the top. What's it going to be? 6th, and only 1 second to make up on Magnussen. I'm not sure she's going to be able to do that, but if she stays top 10, Mike, that's fantastic.
And it will be a personal best. Previously 13th. She does like the individuals. That was her best an individual in Östersund. I think that Steiner, she lives in the most beautiful village in terms of the skiing or the cross-country skiing centres. She's in Ramsau, which is in the Dachstein region of Austria. Beautiful. I think the range has become slightly easier. The wind has dropped off as the races come on. Shachikova.
Sorry?
It got me.
Who?
19-year-old, what a huge day in her career.
Oh, she'll enjoy this if the last one goes down. And it does. Finishes with a 5. A 19 out of 20. And I think that's the best of the Czechia athletes. It is. She's, great shooting. Now she's in a battle with Vabornikova, who's sitting in 9th at the finish. So she's going to have to go some to catch her. I don't think that's going to happen. But that is a lovely way to wrap up the shooting for the day. Plashakova goes 1:53 off the pace. She's 1 second behind Aita Gasparin. That's achievable. Deidre Irwin on 1:43. Irwin looked quite tired on that last loop, having put in a great race so far. So 2 athletes clear on the day. Steiner sitting in 6th position. Mike, I don't think we've seen performances like this from group 3 and 4 so far this season.
It's been tough, and you know they're always lower ranked athletes and athletes brought in from the IBU Cup, so it's unexpected at times. But this is a great performance, still holding 6th position and still with 8 seconds in hand back to score.
Yeah, and when she came out of the range, she only had 3 seconds, so she's gone very hard at the start of the loop. We'll see if she can maintain that pace. Brésard Boucher did manage to. Now, had Jean Monod started a minute ahead of Brésard Boucher, where would your money have been?
It would probably be the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably would. You know, you're given split times for a victory and you've got something left, something extra you can give.
How many seconds is possibly the biggest carrot you could be given? How much is it worth on that last 2.5K?
Yeah, I think you can stretch yourself to take 10 seconds from where you would normally, 10 to 12 actually.
And you know, the saying often goes, everyone has a sprint in themselves at the end of a race. Firstly, did you find that to be true? And if so, where could you start it? Like, could you start your final sprint here?
It's tough. It's a tough finish at here. You have quite a steep climb prior to a descent into the stadium, so you have to attack further out on the tracks here. I must admit I was nearly in tears once because I couldn't give any more stretching on one of those finish lines. It was Olympic finish line and I couldn't give any more. I dug as deep as I simply could and there was nothing. The brain was screaming at the body.
So Shakova with some good shooting as well. That's a relief, Mike. In years gone by, the Czechs have completely fallen apart with the standing shooting in front of their own crowd. But because this is now a regular stop on the tour, they're getting used to it. And it's going to be on the tour every year up until 2030 at least.
And that's good news. I would prefer it was in daylight. I'm not complaining, but there's a different atmosphere in daylight when you're racing. And I think as the audience as well.
What are you saying? Better during the day? I like the feel of the nighttime racing.
I don't. I think you're missing something. Certainly, this is dramatic, and yeah, it looks good, but it's the atmosphere. I'm thinking. Oh, only 1 second ahead of Skar now. Yeah, 7th place is looking likely, and maybe 8th place as well. No, she should be safe in 7th if she does lose that second.
Yeah, last time we saw her, she had a lead of 3.2 seconds, so it is coming down. Yeah, that last climb up into the stadium could push her down a place or two, but I think her top 10 is pretty much guaranteed. She's got 18 seconds in hand over 10th place, going through 11.6, and now she goes through 12.1, and Skar is still behind Steiner, and it's less than a second now. It's half a second. Here's Ockenthaler. Yeah, 2 misses in the first and the last shoot have spoilt her day. 3 minutes added. Had she gone 20 out of 20, Mike, then she would certainly have finished in the top 3.
Yes, and often we've seen her stumble there. She's pushing so hard to the line. And often we've seen Ockenthaler, she knows how poor that was by her high bar that she sets for herself in shooting. Oh, that looks sad, doesn't it? 2 first time in, 2 last time in.
Yeah, here is Steiner, and she's found something on that last climb. Well done to her. Pushes the gap back up to 2.7. The splits worked wonders for her. She knew exactly what she had to do. Was she chasing? Not really. Haki Gross was a good 12 seconds ahead, and she would have known she wasn't gaining on her. So there are the standings. They will not change now in terms of the top 8. Brézard Boucher gets her first win of the season, only her second podium. Lou Jean-Monod back on the podium again. That's the 4th time she's finished in second, but she extends her lead significantly in the overall World Cup. Further down, Vitozzi with 3 misses, still makes top 10, but she'll be so angry with those 2 misses on that 3rd shoot. For Bornikova, good for Czechia. They've had a much bectter night tonight. And Suvi Minkkinen might perhaps of the top 5 in the world. Biggest fan of individual races, but I'm becoming a fan of the short individual because the time gaps are so much less. The racing is so much more exciting.
It's tighter racing, granted. You still need the nerve that you have to have in a 15 kilometre. You know, it's expensive misses at 45 seconds for each target missed.
Yeah, I think I'm starting a petition.
Mettler looks so upset because, again, as we see so many times, the last shot she missed.
is it cruel to point out those who've not had a happy day on the range? There are quite a few of them. Mike Kink has had a kink in a barrel. She's missed 8. Yakiela with 8 misses as well. Anna Clive just up from the IBU Cup for the Norwegian team. 7 misses today. Lynamo we saw having a disaster. 7 misses from her. And Heidenberg of Sweden, 7 misses as well. Carrara's missed 7. The Italians haven't been quite on point today, but let's hope in the mass start on Sunday they can hit the targets. And that's really where Vitozzi and Vera are so good, isn't it, Mike, when they're head-to-head?
Yes, they go more into flow. Today's a different kind of mindset for your shooting. You can break rhythm, you have to go a little slower. Good final 5 for Kasik.
Yeah, in terms of ski speed, the first lap, Vitozzi was the quickest. Second lap, Brézard-Boucher. Jean Monod dominating the third lap. And then Brézard-Boucher, the fastest on the fourth lap. I'll give you good odds if you can guess who finished fastest on the fifth lap. Bendika of Latvia.
Oh, I thought it would be more obviously Brézard-Boucher, but
yeah, well, she was second, but Bendika has taken the French team to the cleaners on that last lap.
And I feel for Bendika. So often she is such a strong skier, but when it comes to the range aspect of her biathlon, she has historically struggled.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't listen to you as to who to put my money on. Camille Benet down in 61st position with 5 misses.
I felt so good about Benet today. This is what she likes most. But there seems to be a pressure still within the French team, you know, to secure the races that they'll be given at the Olympics, even though they've been named. Korsagina looks restless a little. And this last starter, not a lot of fun out there for the final 2.5 kilometers. She's a doctor of social science. She's been in biathlon a very long time. And second oldest in the field at 40.
Well, there's now a fairly sizable gap at the top of the world leaderboard. Brézard-Boucher is still some way off the top. I think she'll go 6, 7 or 8. Quite tight. Obviously depends on the final position of tonight's race. But she is climbing into the top 10. It's been a while. Great to see her back in winning ways. That is win number 14. She's got away from 13. That trips up so many athletes in their careers if they ever get that far. Mike, you know, World Championships, Olympic Games, she always produces her best, and she's shown that she is a potential gold medalist. And of course she has British connections as well.
She has. Her mother is British. They have a farm down in France. She looks like a hard worker, and you know, being brought up as on a farm, often we see in athletes it creates a successful sporting career.
Yeah, the Norwegian skiers over the years, the Marit Bjørgens, all with a farming background. There's a lot to be said for lugging bales of hay around.
There is. I'm delighted to see Proigt back to somewhere close to her best. In fact, take the last missed shot away, and she would have, well, she wouldn't have won, but she would have been a whole lot closer. As in the ski time of Brézard-Boucher and Jean Monod, yeah. So she's in the mix now.
Yeah, best performance for a while from Proigt. Don't forget, she won the overall World Cup last year, just pipping Lou Jean Monod on that final bend of the final race of the season. It was the most dramatic climax to the season that we've ever seen on the women's tour. Yeah, so she's in the money, Mike. Have the Italians taken a step back tonight, or do you think we'll see them come back on Sunday?
There's a ripple of nerves, I think it is, for Dorothea Vera to miss 5. It's unusual. Vitozzi to miss 3. she's normally better than that. And yes, Pastor's missed 5 as well. There's something happened for the Italians. Don't know what it is.
Yeah. Now, the good news for Lou Jean-Monod, if my calculations are right, is she can sit out the next 2 World Cups and she'll still be in yellow, even if Suvi Minkkinen wins both of them.
That's quite a positive.
I've got 182 points between them.
That's incredible. Makarova, that's definitely good shooting on today's difficult conditions.
Yeah, just want to double check. Yeah, we were right. Only 2 athletes going clear. Steiner is one of them, who's finished in 6th place. Her PB by a huge amount. We got lots of PBs in the top 10. Vabornikova of Czechia, of course, is one of them. And then further down the order, Tomocheva, who started early, Mike. She's still 3:17 off the leaders, but she's got herself some World Cup points. In terms of the British shooting, Dupont's had a bit of a nightmare, only just hitting over 50%.
Well, that's a shame. That's not a great day at the races, unfortunately. Ski time looks good, though. Great name, Emily Dixon. 2-3-0-0. What a comeback after a 50% of your first 10 shots fired. That really does knock your mindset, shake your confidence, and hard to come back to get the next 10.
Yeah, it's not spelt right though, Mike.
It's not. It's the wrong way. Far too long. She lives in Canmore. What a place to do your biathlon with the Rockies, beautiful sharp Rockies behind you.
Yeah, if you were to have your biathlon time again,
yep,
where would you live? Where would you choose to live? Like Andy Musgrave decided he needs to be based in Scandinavia. Good move. Where would you go for biathlon?
Yeah, if I had the budget, I would go to New Zealand in the summer months, and I would go to Canmore. Leading into the winter. I'd base myself in Canmore and then take a 4-week visit to New Zealand.
Yeah, but there's a catch, because if you go to New Zealand in the summer months, you're going to have 2 winters every year. You'll turn a pasty shade of white.
It would only be for a month.
And that would undoubtedly affect your character and your ability to push hard.
I must say, you know, when you've been in snowy conditions for 6 months a year, you're desperate to see trees and grass and leaves. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, I think the French team are very relieved to see Brézard Boucher. It's, you know, it's not about the win. It's more about seeing Brézard Boucher back on form, isn't it?
It is, and you know, the smile never goes, but it's a wider smile. There's a confidence back, and I'm so happy for her. Shake of the head there from Kasich. Oh, she missed 3. It's not terrible on the range.
I think she struggled on the skis, to be honest. 7 minutes behind. It has got tough for the really late starters. 93 starters in all. We've got just having a look to see if anyone's pulled out. No, I don't think so. 90 have gone through the 11.6 kilometre stage, so it should only be a matter of 3.5 minutes before everyone's across the line. No one challenging the top 10 or even the top 20. The best of the late starters was Steiner of Austria, started number 70, outside the seeded group by a long way, and she's produced a wonderful performance, got herself up into the top 10, sitting in 6th, having never bettered 13th, never made the top 10 before, so she's had a good PB. Haki Gross, Mike, not a PB by any stretch of the imagination, but a season's best by a huge margin.
Yes, she must have, in the back of her mind, been very concerned that the magic hasn't been there to this point in the season. But to bring it back at this point, Patrick, that is quite special. And remember at the World Championships last year, just trying to, she had what, 1/4 position in the sprint, a 5th in the pursuit. She was really good. and of course 6th in the mixed relay.
Yeah, I thought for a moment that was number 97. I was starting to think I was missing a sheet, a page of the start sheet. Now, isn't it strange? My number at school was 97, and I cannot see that number without being cast back to the dark days.
Oh dear, sounds very military. First World Cup for Grundal.
Now, what are they discussing? The one miss that the top two athletes both had.
Yep, it's the first question on my mind. How was it for you?
Yeah, the Italian flag is missing from the top positions. Vitozzi is the best, down in 9th place, having missed 3, and Vera with 5 misses on the day, down in 25th position. She's still skiing okay, but the shooting was not on point today. Relays tomorrow. It's the mixed and the single mixed relay. Be fascinating to see who goes. I wonder how many of the big names will sit it out. We will find out after this. There'll be a meeting after the race. Yeah, what time's the start sheet going to come through tonight? Have we got a long wait?
We haven't. I think it'll be within the hour after the race finishing. The provisional has been set. It's just the nations who have potentially said they'll be doing it. Great Britain's there in the single mixed.
And Jonas Grundal of Canada shooting okay. A shame we didn't see that last shoot. Bet my bottom dollar that it was the last 2 targets that went wide. Big smile on her face. 8.07 the margin, but 18 out of 20. She's in the top 10% in terms of the shooting score tonight. There's been some, a couple of brilliant shots, but as you can see, only one of the top 8 has gone clear. Tamara Steiner, who's broken into the top 10 for the first time ever, and Siri Skår of Norway with a really, really promising performance in the absence of Sherka Ida, who has gone to altitude to prepare for the games. And Skår into the top 20 for the first time. There she is in the top 10, so a big leap for her. Basurgamike has been promising, but 3 misses too much. Deidre Irwin, it was going so well until that last shoot. 1 miss on the final shoot pushed her outside the top 10.
It's tough, isn't it? Yeah, but Zerga take those 3 penalties away, but not many were hitting all targets tonight. I think it is a much better day for Tandra Vold, but losing a lot of time in terms of her process on the range. But yeah, I wonder whether the positive, she's hitting many more.
Yeah, I wonder whether it was all about the targets. Maybe they just said, don't worry about the ski speed, just hit some targets. That's the way to get your confidence back. But then when you hit full race pace, Mike, if that was the case, it becomes difficult again. Anna Gandler, 3 misses on that first stand.
It's a different rhythm, isn't it? The German team, I think, will be outside of Preutz on the podium. It hasn't been a great night. Fichtner in 16th, and then we have to go a long way back to find the rest.
Yeah, Anna Magnusson, she's gone ahead of Elvira Erberg, and she will be closing down. She picks up 55 points for her trouble, so she goes on to 5.56, and she's only 4 points behind Hannah Erberg. So she splits the 2 Erberg sisters in their absence. So Sweden with plenty in the top 6 of the World Cup rankings. I'm not sure we're going to have time to show you that before the medal ceremony, the flower ceremony as they call it. Well, what a night for France. They've got 1 and 2, and the best news for them is that Brézard Boucher is back on winning form. Well, there are the World Cup standings. Lou Jean-Monod, look at that gap. She is 192 points clear. They can't catch her for 2 races at least. that crystal globe that's denied her, Mike, for the last 2 years, finishing in runners-up spot tonight. This year it looks as though it's going to be hers.
She's been focused from the get-go, hasn't she? From day one up in Östersund, and so consistent. That shooting a little wobble occasionally, but very much back to her best now.
Yeah, she's not the best shot, she's not the fastest, but she's in the top 3 of both, and that's what counts. So the highlights for you, Mike, the seeded group going off relatively early, as there were so few in group number 1, and Lou Jean-Monod, her prone shooting was immaculate.
Just the strength of Jean-Monod, it's always impressive, organised and so focused on process. And then Justine starting 1 minute behind, maybe had the advantage, but to hit so many targets tonight, 19 out of 20, what an outcome.
Yeah, just looking at shooting time between the two French athletes, they're nowhere near of the top of the shooting table. Jean-Monod, 34th position with 202, and Brézard-Boucher, oh, way down. I can't even get that far down the list. There she is, 84th position, 2 minutes 30 shooting time total. So that shows you just how quick she is skiing. Preutz, yeah, let it go in the end with 2 misses, but I think she'll be encouraged by what she's done today. That final prone from Jean-Monod looked as though it was going to hand her the win. Anything Jean-Monod could do today, Brézard-Boucher couldn't match her. 1 miss on that prone. I wonder what she felt then.
She must have felt a lot of pressure on her shoulders, you know, because it can melt when you miss 1 out of 5 and the process has been good. It can really unsettle you for the final time.
Yeah, shoot number 2 for Preutz was sensational. The first shot going wide for Jean-Monod on the last shoot. She's had a couple of final shoots. She's never happy when she misses on the last shoot, Mike, but it's probably happened 3 or 4 times this year.
But the fact that she knows exactly what happens, I thought this was powerful from Brézard-Boucher.
Did Brézard-Boucher know that Jean-Monod had missed? I don't know. I hope she gets asked in the interview if we get one. Franziska Preutz misses on shot number 3. Jean-Monod with a huge lead when she crossed the line, 143. In terms of distance, that is around 750, 800 meters. But Brézard-Boucher, starting just a minute later, came and pushed her down into 2nd place. The cheek of it, having come out of the range 1 second behind. So that 2-second swing on the final loop, and Preutz's chance really disappeared with that 2nd miss.
Normally so strong on the final shot of the final shoot, but maybe the pressure was felt there.
Well, we are going to get a chat with Justine Brézard-Boucher. I don't think she'll be able to contain the smile. Here she is.
Justine, congratulations. What a great performance to get the first win of your season, and so tight in front of your good friend. So how did it feel?
I'm really pleased, to be fair. It's I think for the win as well, but I mean it's good for me to you know, go on with this shoot, especially because yeah, today 19 out of 20 is really good. It was a good battle with Lou as well, and yeah, it means something to win on the individual, because I have to say that Lou laughed yesterday when she asked me if I ever get a medal, a world medal on the world champ, and I answered. My first one was in individual, so she laughed for a few minutes. You know, she didn't trust me, and this is the first thing she said to me at the very end. I shouldn't laugh about you.
I don't know if you believe in numbers, but 4 years ago, before the Olympics, you also didn't have a victory. You got it in individual. Now the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm quite in shape. It was tough on the track. It was hard, but I keep patient till the very beginning of the season, and now I'm just really pleased. And sharing podium with Lou and Francisca as well is a good podium today, I think.
Congratulations.
It is certainly a quality podium, and the relevance of that is, of course, that Brézard-Boucher went on to win the Olympic individual race in difficult conditions. No, she didn't. She had a disaster in the. It was the mass start she won, wasn't it?
Yep,
yeah,
it was.
Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, she missed 5 in the Olympic individual. So maybe she doesn't want to be reminded of that.
Well, I thought the same, but she's skiing 1% faster than last year, and now that she's found the magic through the rifle, who knows what she can achieve at the Olympic Games.
It takes one race to destroy your confidence, Mike, but how many good races to rebuild it?
I think a day like today, where it's a huge test of your control, your shooting skills, I think this goes a long way to building the confidence back for Brézard-Boucher. And like Jean Monod, when you're in a flow so many times of regularly hitting targets, you just feel deeply confident that, yes, I can do this every time.
Well, the big event is just around the corner. Cortina Milano. Every winter sport you can dream of. And we, of course, will be focusing on every single event. The biathlon starting on the 8th of February. Well, let's just have a look at that programme. Mixed relay gets us underway, as is often the case, and then a day off before the men's individual, just to allow the big names to race in that mixed relay. The women's individual on the 11th. Then we go on to the sprints, which are followed by the pursuits. And then the back end of the programme, the men's relay, which is going to be an epic battle between Norway and France, with Sweden showing that they will be contenders. And then the women's relay is probably even tighter than that. Norway certainly are in the mix there. Sweden, France, Germany possibly, from what we've seen with Preutz coming back to form. And then the Olympic programme finishes on the 20th and 21st with the men's mass start over 15k and the women's mass start over 12.5. That is the event that Brézard-Boucher won last time in Beijing. Well, we were a bit disappointed. Mike felt deflated after the men's race yesterday. The crowd have come back and made amends.
They definitely have. It's been positive. The support has been for many of the athletes, not just their own, but certainly the most noise on targets hit. Is that a short off in there at -6?
He had it off last night as well.
Tough.
Temperature, it's not that cold. It's due to get down to around -7 tonight, and then a little bit warmer tomorrow, and then warmer still on Sunday. Mixed relay and single mixed relay tomorrow. The single mixed is getting more exciting as people learn how to race it, how to pace it, and then the mass starts on Sunday. Yeah, one of the advantages, Mike, of having a significant number of the world's best missing is that some athletes will race a mass start who've never done it before.
And that is a positive. Opportunities, and as we've seen, some young athletes coming in today and really, really making it look so good in the big time.
Well, that's just about it from Novе-Место for tonight. Lou Jean Monod stays in yellow for another day, finishing second today behind her good friend and teammate, Justine Brézard-Boucher. 35.50, the winning time. Franziska Preuss started latest of the really big names and gets on the podium. What's that? For the 31st time, I think it is. 31st podium for her. But it's not been an easy season for Franziska Preuss. She's been nowhere near it so far this year, but she's back. So it's a story of resurgence tonight, not from Lou Jean Monod. Hasn't really faltered for the last 3 years, has she?
She hasn't. All big names on the podium, though, just prior to the Olympics. It's a warning shot, isn't it?
Yeah. Second in the World Cup standings in 24, second in 25. She's now sitting with a massive lead of 182 points. Is there any stopping her? I don't think so. I don't think so, unless she suffers an injury or illness. That is 13 of 21 races completed. But you're champion tonight, and the French will be celebrating once this weekend is over. That's the perfect ingredient for Olympic success, you would think. France extending their lead in the Women's Nations Cup, Mike, significantly tonight. I think we can almost hand them that crystal globe already, can't we?
So strong all round. You know, a bad day is missing 3 in the French team, and they're so often up in that top 25, most of the French team.
Yeah, nice body language between the two French athletes there. It's nice to see. They've had their troubles, the French team, over the last couple of seasons. And Julie Simon wasn't far off. 2 misses, 1 less than that, and she would have been in 4th place. Anna Magnusson in 4th. Magnusson getting a taste of the yellow bib early on in the season. She sort of talked herself out of that, saying there's no way I'm going to hold on to it. Haki Gross, brilliant, Mike, and Steiner of Austria. So 2 new names for the season in the flower ceremony. I'm absolutely bewildered. Where has Haki Gross been for the last 2 months?
It's quite incredible. The shooting hasn't been there. The skiing, let's be honest, has been less effective than she would have wanted. But tonight, it all came together, and that's great news. Can she hold it for the mass start? She'll probably get a start there. I hope she can.
Yeah, and 1 more shot and she would have been on the podium, and she knows that. And Steiner, great to see her in the top 10 for the first time in her career over on the right-hand side. Her first ever flower ceremony, and it shows on her face. Great news, great race all around, and well done to Brézard Boucher.